Welcome. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Mayor Gary Sulz, and I'm happy to be back with my weekly videos where I get to keep our listeners up to date on important projects and initiatives in this city. Recently, the Honourable Anne Kang, Minister of Municipal Affairs, took the time to meet with myself and Council to listen to what our citizens tell us about the issues that matter to them. I want to share some of the highlights of our conversation with you. So Minister Kang came and pretty much wanted to do a meet and greet. She brought some of her staff with her and met with myself and council and our CAO. We talked really about things that are important to us in the community and how the Ministry of Municipal Affairs can assist in moving things forward for us. So we talked about Premier Eby's wish to cut red tape so that we can get through some of the development processes. We're already working on that, and in fact have done a lot with that so that things, projects that come to development services can get back out in a shorter period of time. So we're seeing building permits go out within 3 weeks and development permits a little longer. So we're kind of measuring up to what the Premier is wanting, and Minister Kang wanted to discuss that sort of thing, but she also wanted to know about some of the issues that are going on in our community, and we, like every other community here in the province, are having issues with housing. So one of the biggest things that we talked about was how can the provincial government help us with housing. So we talked about what BC Housing is doing. I talked about my disappointment in the delay in seeing the housing project actually get into the ground on 4th and Downey Street. And so we didn't come to any, measurement process as how we can move that forward, but just so that they were aware, we were appreciative of what BC Housing was doing, but because we're so under the gun with lack of housing, we would like to see projects get into the queue faster, which is what the Premier is asking. So we're hopeful that we can actually have further discussion on that. So we talked about housing in general, how we can move housing forward, and one of the biggest things is, again, the red tape that we have in our communities. We've cut as much red tape as we can, and we're trying to streamline that process. We're doing well with that, but we now need to have those projects go forward. We have many housing projects in the queue, and we're looking forward to those coming to fruition. In the meantime, we're hoping that people can find affordable housing and housing that meets their needs. We have many people in the community who are coming who have transferred in or will transfer in if they can find housing. So we need to work on that first and foremost. Then we talked about childcare and or the availability of childcare. And as many of you know, we have 2 councillors who have children and can tell us first and foremost, along with all of you who have children, as to the hardships when it comes to availability for childcare. So we just wanted to make the minister aware of that. Childcare is something that she's interested in. She was an educator before going into politics, so she's kind of cognizant of those facts. So we're working on that sort of thing, and the key will be initiatives coming from the provincial government to get childcare workers into the queue so that we can have a more abundant childcare givers in our community. We talked a little bit about some of the constraints that we have just in getting employees here and how we house them, and talked about, some of the programs that are available. So those sorts of things were kind of on her radar. And then we just talked generally about Revelstoke and how she feels her ministry can help. The biggest thing for her now is to be able to listen to us as we go forward, making sure that we converse with her as to our issues, make her aware, and she's willing to actually discuss some of our concerns with her colleagues, the other ministers in their portfolios, to see what she can do to help us move forward. She was really fell in love with Revelstoke. I don't believe she's ever been in the downtown core before, and she wanted to see downtown. So as she finished the photo session, her comment to me was, Gary, walk with me. So we walked down the street. Tell me about some of these buildings. So she's interested in what we have going here. And for us, that's a benefit because she's now had a chance to see what we have as far as amenities and willing to work with us as we move forward. So really more about a meet and greet than any conclusive things that we're going to move forward. But it's an important step in our relationship building with her as the new Minister of Municipal Affairs. So again, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope I've been able to just kind of enlighten you as to what we're doing with some of these ministers when we meet and greet, and just encourage you to watch our other videos on our YouTube channel and Instagram and our city website. Thank you.